Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So, David Moyes intends on signing young and hungry players this summer from two leagues in particular. We'll get on to the leagues in a second, so let's take a quick look at the young and hungry tag first. Now that's no surprise. He told us when he replaced Pellegrini again, that's a strategy he wants to bring to West Ham. He likes the Red Bull setup that we see at Salzburg, that we see at Leipzig, and he wants to continue that at West Ham. All good so far. In January, David Moyes, Thomas Souček arrived. They both ticked the boxes for the Red Bull setup, so he's done really well so far, David Moyes. So it's no surprise he wants to continue that in the summer. More so with the financial situation at the club, but we'll get on to that in a second. Let's go back to the leagues. Now, the Le 10 Sport over in France are suggesting that Moyes is going to be concentrating on the Championship in England and also French football. Now, the Championship's easy. It's not a difficult thing. I would suggest, you know, your top 10 leagues in the world are easiest to scout. The Championship is in there, along with the Premier League's probably number 1. The Championship would probably make, I don't know, round about the 5th maybe. More so if you're an English club. That's no surprise. There's some hidden gems in the Championship, but not really. I know who they are, and you know who they are, and I'd imagine David Moyes and the scout, he knows who they are as well. But it's the French football is where it gets a little bit interesting. We've been linked to numerous French players or French-based players in the past, even more so recently. Thauvin, Sanson. Last week we were linked to Kamada, the Marseille centre-back, who's one of the biggest upcoming European centre-backs in football. So he'd be interesting if that was our genuine link. We can't hold too much weight to the players we're linked with, I don't think. But I think there is something in the rumour that we're looking at these leagues in particular. And over the weekend we saw us linked to Josh Maja, who's at Bordeaux. You'll know him from Sunderland, probably more because of the Sunderland Till I Die series, where he doesn't come across the greatest. However, he's a young goal scorer, London born as well. It would probably fit the David Moyes thing, the way David Moyes wants to go. Do we need a striker? Probably. The price tag slapped on Maja's head is roughly 10 million. Is that a feasible price? I think so. I think West Ham and majority of other Premier League clubs this summer are going to be shopping for players 15 million and less. Of course, if you sell a player for 40 million or roughly, you may then branch out from that 15. But rule of thumb, I think we're going to be based around the smaller price tags. And Bowen and Souček fit that. I know we paid a bit more for both of them, or we would for Souček should his move become permanent. However, you have to consider the January transfer window pressure, I think. And if you remove that, if those transfers happened in the summer, last summer for example, I think they would have come under the £15 million mark. And this summer is where it gets really important. Yesterday we spoke about how West Ham are going to be possibly going to be forced to sell a big player. One or two players we might not want to sell. Now that doesn't necessarily mean Anderson and Rice and Diop. While they're the obvious ones, there could be another player who they just don't really want to sell. Lanzini, for example. Moyes probably thinks he can turn Lanzini into a better player. We've seen him. We've seen Lanzini under Moyes previously. He was fantastic, wasn't he? Hammer of the Year candidates form he was in. But he's just not done it this time round. So his value is probably pretty low. Round about 15 million, which would make him feasible. And if other Premier League clubs were looking at Lanzini, he fits the 15 million price tag. So I think it's my own made up thing, but I do think it's applicable to most clubs. So if, I don't know, Everton, who's Newcastle maybe, were looking for a player, an attacking midfielder who they could get in that's affordable, Lanzini fits that. So I think we could see us selling players like Lanzini, Balbuena maybe, players that Moyes probably might want to keep, but because of the money, and if he wants to bring players in, he's going to have to sell. Like I said, I think our net spend this summer is going to be 10 million at the most. So we're really going to have to get clever in the transfer. And now today we're looking at the incomings, and that is that Moyes is going to go for the young, upcoming, hungry players. There's a bit of a problem with that in the Championship because you've got to pay money, obviously, but you've got to pay big money. I don't think Bowen would have cost as much as he did if he was from Bundesliga, for example. You pay a bit more because they're from England, essentially. So he's going to struggle in the Championship to find real nuggets of value there, I think. However, the French league, now, unfortunately for me, my French knowledge is the one that lets me down. I have okay knowledge of Germany, of Spain is okay, Italy is okay, but French, I just don't watch French football at all. I don't really have time, to be honest with you. But even, I don't know, PSG play Lyon, I still don't tune into it. So I can't really sort of throw out suggestions of who we might be linked to apart from the ones we've been linked to already. But I do think there's value there. We've seen it at West Ham already. Diop, Payet, both outstanding value. We've seen it at Arsenal with Guendouzi. He's gone over there for just over £7 million. His value's tripled, quadrupled, and more so already. So there's definitely value in that league. Newcastle's main player now, St. Maximin, come from France. So I can understand why we're targeting this league. But this summer, we're really going to see the Premier League clubs with the best scouting knowledge, the people who have done their homework already, they're going to have an advantage. They're going to have a leg up. And it would make sense to concentrate on one league in particular, because behind closed doors, football doesn't... Moyes is not sitting doing nothing at the minute. He's not taking training. The scout is not doing anything at the minute. What they're going to be doing, they're going to be looking for their summer targets as today, right now, tomorrow, yesterday. They'd have been looking at targets. They'd have been going through umpteen hours of footage of players and looking at who they can get. So I think it makes some sense to focus on one or two leagues and finding the real players in there and bringing them to West Ham this summer. Who they are, I don't know. Are they in French football? I don't know. My French football knowledge is not good. The Championship, there's definitely players in there we could do with. The problem is, again, one or two of them are at Leeds, West Brom, and we don't know what's happening with their futures. Are they going to be a Championship club next season, or are they going to be a Premier League club next season? We don't really know. Would we go for players from them? I imagine so. If Leeds don't come up, someone's going to want Calvin Phillips. If West Brom don't come up, someone's going to want Pereira. And this is where it gets interesting. And this is where David Moyes and his scouting team are really going to, hopefully, earn their money in the summer. Because someone's going to. I do think there's an opportunity for 1-2 Premier League clubs to throw some money at this. And it's not going to be West Ham. And you've got two options. Either A, you do throw money at it, if anyone has got, owner has got money to inject. And you can really make progress in the league by not financially doping yourself in the transfer market, but certainly giving yourself leeway over your other rivals. And there's an opportunity there for those with the scouting knowledge to bring in one or two players of cheap, who are then worth more like that. Within a season, their value's gone up. And that's the situation that West Ham find themselves in. We're not going to be injecting money, so we've got to do it by finding value in the transfer market. A lot easier said than done. Let us know which players, if you know French football, please put your suggestions below, because we're going to do a video about the Championship players. We're already doing that. It'll be up later this week maybe, but the French one we don't know, we can't do, but we might put something together. We will want your suggestions. So if you know French football, put your players below that you think David Moyes should be scouted, and I'll have a little look at my end. I'll get Gonzo to do his Gonzo on YouTube, and I'll do my thing, which is stats, and hopefully between me and Gonzo we can whack a little video out there for you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. I appreciate it. I'm trying to reply to everybody that comments on these videos, and I will do the same for this one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The subscribe thing's right there, somewhere. There, maybe, roughly. There's a Hammer Chat logo. Click it. Check the video out from yesterday if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in a bit. Thank you for joining me.